If you're looking for the best smartphone when it comes to photography, I believe that this, the Vivo X300 Ultra, is in the top 3, and I've got a feeling that it's not going to be second or third. And what I'm doing in this video is unboxing the X300 Ultra photographer kit. I have done my research, and just to make this video a little more interesting and engaging for you guys, if you stick around to the end, I will be doing a quick blind camera comparison shootout between the iPhone 17 Pro Max, the Galaxy S26 Ultra, and Vivo's latest Ultra Champion. It will be interesting to see if you guys can pick out the Ultra from the lineup, so you'll only be able to go on the quality of the images. Anyway, now let's get this out of the box and see what it comes with. Okay, I haven't got much desk space here, so I'm gonna have to spin this around a little bit. First out of the box is the phone itself. And Vivo have very kindly sent me the best of the best. This is the 16GB RAM version, 1TB ROM, and it's in black. And we will come back to this very shortly, but first let's see what the accessories are all about. Okay, so I nearly destroyed the box trying to take the top bit out, but actually I've just discovered there is in fact a little drawer down here. And it does very conveniently list all of the names of the accessories here. So let's get a look at this stuff. Whoa, this looks incredibly premium. Let's start with this. This is the official camera grip. I'm assuming this clips onto the case that they provide. You got a 2-step shutter button. It's also got a little zoom lever. Up top, you've got a button for the flash, and it looks like there's a little LED there. You've got a function button, a record button, and a little wheel here. There's a little quick release locking mechanism, and as you can see, it does connect to the phone via its USB-C port. And check this out, it's even threaded on the base. There is a USB-C port, possibly for pass-through charging, and this does have its own battery supply, which is 2,300 milliamp hour, and it charges the phone at 10 watts, which is quite slow, but fast enough to keep it charged up whilst recording. And it's got a really nice grip and weight to it as well. Okay, what next? Let's get a look at the actual case. So it is a hard case. You've got the little locking bit there for the grip. You've got a quick release button here, and this actually comes off, and you can fit a 67mm ND filter or something like that if you wanted to. You've got a couple of holes here to fit a lanyard. The volume rocker and power button are protected by these extended buttons, and the inside of the case appears to be some kind of Alcantara. Nice soft texture, so if any grit gets in between the phone and the case, this hopefully could prevent it from scratching the back of the device. Okay, what next? Is this a first party lanyard for the case? I think it might be. And yes, it is. And it looks like it's even got a quick release system here. And there's lots of metal, and this feels like leather, and the actual strap itself feels incredibly premium. So far, so good. Of course, you get the paperwork for the accessories. What do we have here? That looks like a lens cap. So you get 4 different sized lens caps. This is going to be for the part that connects to the phone, and these are for the ends of the lenses. But it looks like the lens covers are already on there, so maybe these are just backups. Let's see what this is. So this is a 67mm adapter ring. There's also another adapter ring. This is a 67mm filter adapter. And you know what I just realized? I use a 67mm Pro Mist filter on this camera. So this Tiffin Pro Mist filter can screw onto this, and then I can attach this onto the phone. And last out of the box is this, which I believe will click onto the case and allow you to click these lenses onto it. And this is solid metal, and it's even got a bit of Zeiss branding on there as well, and it kind of looks like a little funny emoji. That's the face that I pull most of the time whenever the dog tries to destroy my socks whilst I'm still wearing them. I wonder what this is. So it's a little backup, quick release piece for the provided shoulder strap. This is quite heavy. Lots of metal. This appears to be a hot shoe for a tripod, and it's also threaded, and you can tighten it up here too. Next out of the box, we have this. I believe this will support the lens when it's attached, so you can clamp it in and then lock it in place with this. And last in this box, I believe, will be another support for the smaller lens. It's exactly the same as the other one, almost. And then here we have the smaller of the 2 lenses that you get with the Vivo X300 photography kit. So this one right here is the 200mm teleconverter lens, and that is a serious bit of glass right there, and it feels very, very premium and sturdy and strong. Let's get a look at the big one now. This is a 400mm lens, Zeiss optics again, and that has some serious weight to it, and just like the other one, it's very, very premium. I do like the use of the blue accent color, and this thing is literally like a telescope. I'm definitely gonna have to think of somewhere good to go and take photos to truly test this out. If you guys got any ideas for me around London, do let me know. Okay, so that's all the bits and pieces. Now let's get a look at the phone itself. Where's my ninja knife? Here it is. I'm super hyped for this phone, and just so you know, it's not entirely focused on photography. The hardware on this and some of the specs are truly standout. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's get a look at this phone first. First out of the box, the phone itself. We will come back to this. Okay, so as well as the very premium case for all the lens teleconverter kit stuff, you do get another case for when you want to be a little more low key and less flashy. And this one's just your classic silicone case, and the buttons on the side of the device will be protected by these extended raised sections. You do have cutouts along the base, which is a slight upgrade when it comes to protection versus this one, but it is the kind of box standard one. So let's put that to one side. Usual paperwork. I've got a good feeling there's going to be a charger in here. And yes, there is, and it is in fact a 100-watt official Vivo flash charger with UK power pins. This is brilliant because that kind of charging speed can charge a laptop as well. So it's multifunctional. And on the other side, we do have the charging cable for it, and it is a C-to-C charging cable. And there is, of course, a SIM ejector tool. Okay, let's get a look at this phone for the very first time. Flat display, which is nice. Very strong glue on the packaging. Wow, that is one hell of a camera module. And check out the little red accent that runs around the bottom edge here. This thing looks incredible, and I do like that matted black color that they've gone with there. It's not jet black, it's kind of a dark gray, to be honest. And the camera module itself is very chunky, and that's because it's got that very premium Zeiss glass on top of it. And this is one of the few phones where you can actually grip it by the camera module itself. It literally feels like you could twist that off if you wanted to, but I don't think you're supposed to. So the back of the Vivo X300 Ultra is using a material known as 3D glass fiber. The camera module actually has an ultra thin metal wrapped around it. They call it a biscuit style camera module, and there is one piece of glass right over the top of all of the lenses, and they've given it this knurled etched texture around the camera module, just like a true camera lens. Speaker grill up top, speaker grill at the bottom, USB-C and the SIM. Let's get a look at what kind of SIM tray this actually has. It is, of course, a dual SIM tray. I wish it was a hybrid for the extra memory, but with this 1 terabyte version of the phone, you'll probably never need that. It's got a triple flash, which I'm assuming will be incredibly bright. The buttons are, of course, metal. All of the frame is metal. I don't believe it's titanium. And here's something we pretty much never see on Ultra phones, a pre-installed screen protector. The weight here is quite substantial at 232 grams, and the thickness is around 8.5 millimeter. Obviously, that's going to be at its thinnest point. With the camera module, it's probably another 8.5 millimeter. And this feels ultra premium, exactly what you would expect from an Ultra phone. And it does have an official IP68 and 69 water and dust resistance rating. And if you are into cameras, you're going to absolutely appreciate all of the fine little details and markings on this device. It's not over the top. It's very classy, in my opinion. I am really liking what Vivo have done with this one. And if you're wondering about the available color options, you can get this in black, which is this one, which is kind of a dark gray. There's also a green and a white. Okay, now let's run through some of the key specs that you need to know about this device. Then I'll try on some of these attachments, and then we will do that blind camera comparison test real quick. I will be doing a more thorough camera test with this phone. So if you're interested in that, definitely subscribe, turn on your notifications, keep an eye out for that when it goes live. So let's start with the display. First thing you need to know is in display is a 3D ultrasonic 2.0 fingerprint reader. It's incredibly reliable, it's perfectly placed, and it's very fast. The display is a 6.82 inch 2K Zeiss master color display. So Zeiss have actually calibrated the color profiles on this phone. Of course, it is an AMOLED and it does support 144 Hz refresh rate, which is crazy. You don't really need that when you're gaming, and this phone is well equipped for that too. We'll get to that in a minute. The local peak brightness here is 4,500 nits, which is going to make this very viewable on a sunny day when you're trying to take photos. And because it's an 8T LTPO display, it can dim all the way down to just 1 nit for low light reading and viewing sessions. It does support Dolby Vision, HDR10+, HDR Vivid, and it is also Netflix HDR certified. And of course, there's a bunch of eye protection features here, including blue light reduction and even PWM dimming. And this display has a circularly polarized light eye protection feature, which is very unique. And check out this one, full scene bionic brightness. So this is all system level eye protection features, which you really don't see that often anywhere else. So yeah, definitely no complaints from me when it comes to this display. Now let's talk about power and speed of power delivery. Inside the Vivo X300 Ultra is a 6600 milliamp hour Blue Volt silicon carbon battery. And this is the latest version from Vivo. They say it's a solid state battery with 2.0 technology. And because this is a phone that's designed to be taken anywhere with you, including places like the North Pole, the battery can still operate at -20 degrees. Don't ask me what that is in Fahrenheit. I have no idea. And it does have a couple of interesting power features here. For example, even when you're right down to the last % of battery, you'll still be able to make phone calls thanks to this battery life extender software. There's also this bypass charging feature that allows you to play games and things whilst plugged into the power without actually charging the battery, which will keep the phone cooler for longer. And there's an interesting instant wake feature. So when your phone eventually does die, it will keep the things you were doing in memory. So when you finally get some power back to it, it will wake up exactly how it was before it died. Peak charging speeds here are 100 watts. You've also got 40-watt wireless charging, and reverse wireless charging is supported. So yes, this is indeed a battery beast. Now let's talk about the performance and firepower. Of course, this being an Ultra phone, it is rocking the most powerful Android chip at the time of release. It is the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. The ROM is also the fastest, UFS 4.0, and I do have 1 terabyte here, which is crazy. RAM is the latest and greatest, and you can double it up to 32 gigs if you really want to. And if you want to know how much better this is compared to the previous version of this phone, the CPU performance is up 20%, the GPU is up 23%, and the energy consumption is down by 35%. Now, if this flagship chip alone wasn't enough, they've actually fitted it with their own chip for photography and video. It's called the VS1 Plus. This 6nm dedicated chip can perform 80 trillion operations per second and deliver images 20% faster than the built-in ISP. And because it's taking that workload away from the Snapdragon, it further enhances the efficiency of this chip by another 20%. And to make sure this thing stays cool when under pressure, when you're filming 8K videos or playing games, they have fitted it with a 5,800mm squared liquid cooling vapor chamber. And this vapor cooling chamber utilizes super water absorption channels. Think of them kind of like plant roots that go into the ground. And they're designed to do one thing: rapidly disperse the heat. So I think you'll agree, this is starting to sound like an absolute ultra beast, and maybe one of the very best Ultra phones out there right now. Now let's talk about the camera. So this phone has a massive camera array, as you already know, which includes an 85mm telephoto with a 200 megapixel HP9 sensor. The sensor size here is 1/1.4, the aperture is 2.67, and this meets Zeiss APO standards for chromatic aberrations, and this also has a CIPA 7.0 stabilization rating, which is one of the best on any smartphone right now. And you really do need that when you're taking telephoto shots, because little hand movements make a huge difference when you're shooting at longer ranges. The primary camera has a 35mm focal length equivalent This is also a 200 megapixel sensor. This one is a Sony Litia 901, 1/1.2 inch, f1.85, and this one has a CIPA 6.5 rating for stabilization. There's also a 14mm ultra wide. This one's a 50 megapixel sensor. It's also a Sony Litia. This one's an 818, 1/1.28. And the aperture here is f2.0, and this one also has a CIPA rating. This one is 6.0. Now you might be wondering, what is that fourth sensor? Well, this isn't actually for taking photos. It is in fact a dedicated 5 megapixel color sensing camera, which uses a multi-spectral sensor with 12 color channels, and it has an upgraded flicker sensor for pixel perfect color corrections. So put very simply, its only job is to assist the other cameras when it comes to accuracy and when it comes to video. So the sensor sizes, the megapixel counts, that kind of stuff is just one part of the equation when it comes to building a perfect camera. And the other part is, of course, the lenses themselves. And these lenses use Zeiss T-Star coating, which reduces the amount of reflections inside of the lenses themselves, which can, of course, reduce ghosting and things like that. And that is an area where some of the most popular smartphones really suffer with massive ghosting, and usually quite badly at night whenever there's street lights and things like that. Anyway, the selfie camera is of course in display. This is also a 50 megapixel camera. This one uses a Samsung JN5 sensor, 1/2.7 inch. It does also have Zeiss coatings. And when it comes to video, you can shoot up to 8K 30 frames per second, and also all the way up to 4K 120 frames per second in 10-bit log if you want to. You can also capture Dolby Vision. And there are also 4 mics on the device. So no matter which way you're capturing content, the audio pickup should be very good. And there's even different audio pickup profiles that you can select from if you kind of want to customize the audio straight out of camera. And on top of that, I am told that you can connect directly to wireless microphones without having to use the dongle. I don't know what mics those are right now, but I will do my best to find out. So in my Vivo X300 FE video, some of you guys got upset because I didn't do a speaker test. So let's do that real quick versus the iPhone, and you guys can let me know what you think of the audio. So this is max volume on the X300 Ultra. This is the iPhone. So let me know which one sounded better. Okay, so there's 2 things left to do. Try on these accessories and then we'll do that blind camera comparison. First up, let's try this case on. Clicks in there real nice and it looks very camera-like now. Now let's try on that camera grip. This should just slot on the side here. And that is a comfy grip. The little wheel up top adjusts your exposure so you can sort of compensate if you need to. The flash button up top doesn't instantly switch on the flash, it just toggles it on, so when you take a photo it will then use the flash. And this function button over here actually brings up the last recording or last photo that you took. Okay, now let's get the little adapter on for the lenses. Let's try the 200mm zoom first. Okay, yes. This is crazy. Here's a photo taken with that lens. Let's switch it out now for the 400mm. Okay, this one adds some weight for sure. And just look at this thing. This is crazy. Now, something that's really cool about this, as soon as you attach one of these lenses, it can detect that it's been attached to the device, and then you can choose the one you're using. So I'm using the big one here. Turn that on, and straight away, we're in, and I'm far too close to anything in here to take a decent photo. So I'm going to take this outside real quick. Here's a photo on the 400mm zoom. So because this phone has that thread at the bottom, you can in fact mount this to a cage. And I do believe that Vivo have worked with Small Rig on a custom cage for this. And these, what I thought were supports, are actually in fact attachments that can allow you to mount more accessories onto this lens thanks to the threaded port here. And you know what I forgot to do before putting the case on? Add the camera strap. And there we go, camera strap sorted. I really like how they've designed this. It's super easy to remove the strap whenever you don't need it, just by clicking these off here. And there we go. Okay, now it's the moment you've been waiting for, the blind camera comparison test between the iPhone, the Galaxy S26, and this. However, I won't use the lenses because that would be unfair. So let me know, guys, what do you think of the Vivo X300 Ultra? Is this the most ultra camera phone out there right now? I genuinely think it just might be, and I will be doing a proper camera comparison with this phone and also a featured video with the lenses and things like that in London. If you're interested in seeing those, make sure you subscribe. And if you just subscribed, you are now one of the finest subscribers known to man. I appreciate you guys for watching. See you in the next one. Don't be late.